Hello. This is episode 6 of the Halloween special. We are recording this a week before the Halloween. So, since this is the Halloween special, we're going to go with spooky as the theme. Just all horror and all that paranormal activity, scary anime since this is an anime podcast. So, the ones joining me today are David and PJ again, which they're great hosts, honestly. So, since most viewers that have already listened to you guys on the last episodes, you don't need to introduce your shit. Let's just go with the topics. So, scary movies, like media in general, like what are some good movies or like TV shows that are like actually scary?
Well, I'm a massive scaredy bitch, so I don't really watch those.
David.
So one of the scariest movies I saw was a 2008 movie with Kiefer Sutherland called Mirrors.
I've never seen that one. When did that come? Like 2008?
Mhm.
I'm a bitch
And-
when it comes to scary movies. Okay, here's a little side story I'll tell you guys. I had friends in high school. They're twins. They made me watch Human Centipede, and I was like, "Fuck."
What would have been more fucked is if they asked, "Want to join?"
Yeah, and then you know what we watched after that was The Thing, and I was like, I like The Thing better.
Yeah, The Thing's a great movie.
The Thing was a good movie. I did not like Human Centipede.
And then they made a prequel to it in the 2011.
Why?
It was to flesh out the monster a bit more, even though the monster is most entirely flesh.
I don't like that.
Basically, the 2011 movie was to show you what happened with the Siberian part of it.
Oh.
Because in the beginning of the, I think, did it come out in 76? I don't know. It came out way earlier, but in the first The Thing movie, not the first one, but like technically the second one, but the one everyone knows, the beginning shot is two Siberians in a helicopter chasing the Thing disguised as a husky. Why do I remember this? I don't know. But basically, the 2011 movie is based off of those two people.
So the original came out in 1982.
Oh, well, I was way
It's
off.
a classic. Like,
Yes.
I'll give you that in terms of a horror movie.
Yes. And then 2008 Mirrors scared the living shit out of me.
What about like Japanese horror? What's that one horror movie where the girl comes out of the TV? Shit was scary.
Ringu.
The Ring. Yeah.
Not a horror movie, but it scared the shit out of me as a kid, and I didn't know what it was. Spirited Away.
Oh, that is such a good movie, though.
I didn't know what it was. I was 3 the first time I watched it. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Classic horror movie wise, I would say Chucky as a kid.
Oh yeah, those kind of became like comedy movies, didn't they?
Yeah.
Towards the end, yes.
But originally it was like straight up a horror movie.
Yes.
I mean, look at the Chainsaw Massacre. It's become comedy at this point.
Yeah.
Like, the originals were scary, I'll give you that, but like the iterations after that's like, what is this? What are you guys doing?
For me, it was the Chucky movie was more of I actually had a doll that looked similar to Chucky.
Did it move in while you slept?
Oh, fuck off. No. but as a kid, my grandma gave me that as a gift, not knowing, it was based on a horror movie. And growing up, like, that was the one doll I never wanted next to me, ever.
It's like watching the TikToks of the mother buying her daughter, like, the most cursed toy. And it's like, did I do something right? It's like, what? So it's like, I honestly think like horror in media, if done right,
It's good.
pops. It's really good, but
Yes.
Oh yeah.
most of the time they are not done right.
Well, okay. So the problem with that is listeners out there. I don't know if you guys know about horror. So when they make the first original horror, it's good, and then the second one, it's okay. It's still kind of decent, and then the third one, it just drops off. The plot just completely just disappears.
Oh, you're true there, because like
Well, yeah.
most
By
like
the
horror
third one, they're
movies,
just trying to make money.
Yeah,
they're milking it.
like for example, the Piranha movie, the new one that came out, Piranha. Yeah, the
I don't
first one
know
was
that.
pretty good. Second one was okay. It was decent. It was still good. The third one was just utter dog shit. It was just basically a live action porno with tits and boobs and shit flying around everywhere.
Since this was it, since we're still on the topic of horror, scary media, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming out on the 26th. This is recorded on the 21st. Do you
Yeah, so
think this will
5
be
days.
scary?
Based on what I've been seeing from trailers, I will say yes. Most likely scary for the little kids, but for the adults, the pop scares might get you. That's about it, I think.
Because it's like it's Five Nights at Freddy's, so it's like, there might be like jump scares, but that might be the whole thing for it, unless they go for the creepy vibe of like the FNAF
I would
store or
honestly
whatever.
love it more if they went off the creepy vibe because I can handle creepy. I cannot handle jump scares.
Because if they went with the creepy vibe of like it's Chuck E. Cheese but more dilapidated, and it's like I would dig that as a movie. It would work, but we won't know until it comes out.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
And then another. So one last horror movie was. Let me look it up real quick. It was a Korean-made horror movie based on a real place that my mother used to live next to as a kid.
Oh.
It's a 2018 movie called Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. So in Korea, where my mom grew up as a kid, was a mental institution where, it was helping mentally ill people, disabled people, whatever. And then eventually it turned like the American ones. They started experimenting on people, killing them, blah, blah, blah. And then that movie, the ending, Paul remembers watching it. Me and him were almost shitting our pants from being so scared of that thing.
I hate Korean horror movies. They're just they have the creepy vibe. There's no jump scare. Just like the creepiness is always what gets you into Korean horror.
And a lot of people out there, if you're listening, Asian horror movies do it right because there's always a lady with long black hair covering her face with a white fucking dress. Like, what the fuck, man?
Also known as The Ring, if you've never seen that, because that's another horror. That's on the same genre of that.
It is, yes. I mean, I can watch horror movies all I want, but when it comes to games, for some reason, I just cannot play them. I do not know why, but it's backwards for me.
Well, in horror movies, you can kind of tell what's about to happen. And like you're like kind of like not in the driver's seat. But horror games, you are in the driver's seat and you don't know when it's going to happen.
So the one scary game I played, right, was Slender Man. When that whole thing blew up, I finished it. I was scared shitless because I kept playing that during the night. If you guys remember what that is, like one flash, not a flash game, but it was like a simple game, and it's like you can't get the Slender Man to catch you or whatever.
Yeah, you collect the notes.
Yeah,
you're a crazy bastard for playing that in the middle of the night too. Fuck that.
It was scary as shit. It was fun, but like I was scared to shit with Slender Man after that.
I played the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. Couldn't get past the second night.
Really? I got past the third night and I was like, I'm done.
No, that fucking fox motherfucker kept jump scaring me. I was like, nope.
So let me ask you guys. So with Five Nights at Freddy's, the new movie coming out, right? Is it somehow related to Willy's Wonderland? Is that kind of the same?
No.
I think it's based off like the first and second game.
Okay. So a lot of listeners out there,
By
If
the
you
looks of
didn't
it, it's probably just going to be based off of the first game.
Okay. So you listeners out there, if you didn't know, Willy's Wonderland is a horror movie. Yes, Nicolas Cage is in it. But I found out that the director who wrote the script is from Reno, Nevada, where a casino actually had those animatronics in it.
Oh.
So I think it was called Border Town. So Border Town is a casino that's about 25, 30 minutes from where I currently live. So apparently that place used to have animatronics until I believe there was either a malfunction or it scared the living shit out of people, and they're just like, nope, we're getting rid of that crap. So only the locals knew about it. The only reason I knew about it was because I dug into it after I watched the movie. And basically, they got rid of them because it just scared the shit out of everybody.
Oh, and Willy's Wonderland is actually kind of good.
Well, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it quite a lot with all the gore and violence and scary shit. But
Yeah, Nicolas Cage was good in it.
All right, since this is an anime topic podcast, we have anime in the fucking podcast name. Shitty horror animes. So I googled horror animes, right?
yes.
Tokyo Ghoul was in the second to top of the fucking list. Why? Why? How is it horror? It's fucking cringe.
I mean, if Roy was a guest on here, maybe he could answer that question. But we won't
but then
know.
remember, he relates to the fucking character. I don't know why. So off from the topic of Tokyo Ghoul, because I'm just gonna shit talk it for the rest of the time. So Zom 100, that anime got delayed, but it's a zombie anime, an actual good one.
Yeah, it's a
PJ, you have
zombie
finished
anime.
it?
Yeah, I watched all 9 episodes that are out at the moment.
How is it?
It's good. I liked it.
Is the character not like cringe copy pasta?
Yeah. It's weirdly enough, it's a zombie anime that doesn't feel like a zombie anime.
Because like I just hate zombie genre in anime because I feel like it's overdone.
Well, yeah, what are you gonna do with it that's new?
Because it's not like it needs to be different. Like the only reason I like the Zombieland Saga was because it was an idol but zombies, and I thought that was hilarious.
So now that you mention that, Paul, I believe that the Japanese made a live action version of Zom 100.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix.
So based on what you guys know about anime, is Zom 100 something you would recommend me watching as a live action?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, watch it. The anime's really good. So I'm pretty sure Japan did really good on the live action.
It got really good reviews.
Yeah, I also give it a watch. So let's see here. Ghost Stories, but the English dub. This is not scary in a way. It's funny as shit. If you've seen memes on TikTok, you'll know. Cause like this anime was supposed to be scary, but then when they English dubbed it, it just became what was it? What's that one abridged? It became like Ghost Stories abridged. Like shit is funny. Uh, have you guys seen clips of it?
I
I
have not.
I've seen clips of the Ghost Story dub.
Oh yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Like the
Yeah.
dub of that is hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But there's not much horror animes in terms of like anime does not do well with horror. Because if you've seen like what's that one manga artist who specializes in horror, but then like
Junji Ito.
yeah, him. But there's never good anime from that mangaka. Because his horror is too scary and it doesn't translate well to anime. Because I've read some of the mangas and it's it will live in my brain of why the fuck did I read that?
Or why did I watch that, wasting my time on it?
I've never seen the anime. I've only read his mangas.
I see.
And I was like, why did I read this? Like this is just insane how this guy just wrote that.
Well, I mean, you know what they say about some people, man.
Because when I read that manga, I was like, oh my god, that was actually scary. Like that one story where the guy, like these guys find holes of their silhouette of the body and then they go in through it. It's
This
like
hole is mine.
this hole is mine. Yeah, that one. That one is what the fuck? That still lives in my brain and I can't get it out. That's how scary it is.
See, stuff like that does not scare me. I actually find that like fascinating.
I don't like that. It's just this hole is mine. I'm gonna go in it now. It's like, no, don't let the intrusive thoughts win, please.
So when you say hole, you mean their anus?
No, it is a perfectly them-shaped hole. Like when two pieces like of like furniture, like when you're building something from IKEA and two pieces perfectly slot together.
Yes.
It's like that.
But
Oh,
for
okay.
your human body.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a whole different rabbit hole. Like if you want to read it, we can link it to you. But just to tell you, it's if you don't like scary, you might not like it. Like it's creepy more than scary. That's what I'll just say.
Yeah, I'm
We
kind
were
of like
talking. No, you go ahead.
I'm kind of like PJ, where I like creepy, but like extreme horror I can't handle. But borderline, like creepy and scary I can handle. But anything more than that, I'm good.
So I was debating on if I should talk about if JoJo Bizarre Adventures horror, but Dave here has not watched it, so we'll just skip that topic.
No, we can talk about it. David,
We
do you
can.
ever plan on watching JoJo's?
Probably not.
It's on Netflix.
Most likely not.
Okay. So we'll just probably skip over this topic then.
All right.
So Halloween as a kid. So like did you go trick or treating? For me and David, we went to church for trick or treat, and that was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went trick or treating. I did it up until I was about like 10 or 11.
Oh. Like
What's
how's
that?
the experience? Because most Koreans that do trick or treating just go to church and then get free candy. That's what it is
Yeah.
for like Korean Christians.
Well, as a white dude who is also Christian, how it worked for us was we didn't go to church at all, and we just kind of went door to door. Just the like traditional like trick or treat. Well, traditional from my perspective of trick or treating, like with all the costumes and such.
Honestly, that would have been fun for like me. I've only done it once in like was it beginning of high school. That was like the one time I did it with like a group of friends.
Yeah, I
Oh.
only did that when I was, I believe, 14 in Chicago when I was growing up with my friends then.
So it's like most Koreans have not done trick or treating. Like if you're a Korean listener to this, please back us up because I'm pretty sure you guys have not gone trick or treating because your parents said, "Oh no, it's the devil or some shit."
My grandma, yes.
But like I wish back when I did trick or treating back in high school, I wish Among Us was a thing because I would have bought that costume. Like no cap, I would have dressed up as Among Us in high school if Among Us was a
I know
thing.
you would have, Paul.
If the inflatable dinosaur was a thing, I would have done that too.
I mean, I do remember for 1 year, I believe it was in 5th grade, and this is when Minecraft was just like the newest thing around. I went as an Enderman.
Oh, that's it.
I don't know.
So, Dave, you got anything to talk about for like this whole general topic of like trick or treat, Halloween as a kid?
I would say the meaning behind Halloween kind of lost its true meaning. If you guys catch my drift,
Mm-hmm.
like kids don't realize, like, yeah, it's a fun holiday. Don't get me wrong, but it's based on some fucked up history.
Oh, should we go into the lore of that for like a good
I
5
think we
minutes?
should. Yes.
So tell us
That,
more of the lore for
hold
Halloween.
on, Paul. I
Oh,
believe the word you're looking for is history.
the internet has ruined my brain.
So apparently, Halloween has to do with a Celtic thing.
I've heard of that.
So basically, Halloween was a day where the end of summer was marked and the harvest, the beginning before the winter, was a thing. And apparently, in Celtic beliefs, that a lot of people died during that time because it's like before winter starts and all this stuff. And basically, they would celebrate by putting masks on and celebrating to ward off the ghosts, basically, not to return, but to go on to the afterlife.
And then it came to America and then it got capitalized.
Yes, basically, yes. Someone saw it as a money-making opportunity and jumped on it.
America.
Yeah.
Why? It lost its meaning just like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's see here. We got about like 18 minutes left here. You guys got any spooky stories, paranormal activities you guys witnessed firsthand?
Yes, I've actually seen live demonic possession before.
Tell us.
So I was in India at the time. I believe it was the second or third time I went to India for a church
Oh,
mission
I think
trip.
you told me this. Like, you told me this a long time ago. I
Yeah.
heard your story. Tell us.
So, anyways, we were doing a normal, worship service, normal, time of, singing gospels and praying and all this stuff. Then all of a sudden, I'm looking at this lady like my pastor's praying for. Next thing you know, it looked like someone was holding her hands behind her back, and she started like hissing and shit. It was freaky. So I even have picture footage with, I don't know what I did with it, but I do have those pictures somewhere. You can see the lady struggling to get free from whatever's holding onto her, basically.
That just sounds awfully creepy. Like,
It was
holy shit.
creepy. It was very creepy. So it was not only this one lady, but there was another man across the room that had the same thing.
Oh.
So
They must have been pissed off because Christians were there.
yeah, something like that. But it was quite scary.
I'm just making jokes because I just see Christian TikToks, and that's just a whole nother thing. Them believing in all that bullshit, and someone on TikTok just was like, "Why the fuck are you saying this?" But that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Paul, I'm looking back in the notes. You said I actually have a paranormal activity stuff that happened during a church retreat. So why don't you tell
That's
us about
right.
that?
Yeah, so this was during high school church retreat. I forgot. It was like junior year. Like, let's see here. We split up into small groups, right? If you know what that means in Christian slang, like small groups, and then talk about the Bible. We went to what was it? A cabin that was
Mhm.
like pretty far out from the campsite, and the door was unlocked. So we're like, oh, we'll just use this. Turned the light on, and then we started like talking about the Bible and everything. And then all of a sudden, we heard what was it? The sink just turn on. Like, we heard the handle just swing like all the way, and then the water faucet turning on, and I was like, what the hell? And then we got scared there. And then was it they all told me to go check it out. I was like, that sounds like a bad idea, but sure. I turned the light on, and then was it the shower turns on and the toilet flushes by itself. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Turned the light off, slammed the door, and I was like, "Guys, there's nothing in there." And then someone, I think, opens the door, and then the light just keeps flicking on and off, and then we run outside. Oh my god! I was like, "This happened at a church retreat. Why?"
I, fi- I finally understand the stereotype with white people being stupid in horror movies.
Right.
Because my dumbass is just like, oh, that's probably just the house settling.
I mean, PJ, you are correct. Like, I'm on the same boat. So, yes, I am Korean. I was born in Korea, but technically I was raised in America, right? So, I hang out with a lot of Caucasian people, let's say. But for me, I'm kind of like PJ. I think maybe it's just the house settling, or maybe it's just something I just misheard because I'm playing a game or something.
Yeah, but like that was scary as shit for me because everyone ran out that cabin. And we're like, what the hell is going on?
Well, okay, so I'm sure PJ knows. So in Korean churches, if you listeners don't know, is every Korean that buys a house has a pastor or the lead pastor come to their house to bless that home. And I've done that my entire life growing up with my parents. So my parents would have the house blessed and all this stuff, right? So in any of the houses that I've lived in growing up, I've never dealt with any kind of like spiritual or like weird ghost apparitions or anything weird like that.
Like, you mean like the experience of like when you're a kid and then you throw something in the air and then it doesn't land down? And you're like,
Yes.
where the hell did it go?
But even if I remember as far back as being a kid, I've never had any of those experiences.
So, like, since we're on this topic and I'm talking here, sleep paralysis. Who has dealt with that?
I have not.
PJ?
Neither have I.
God damn it, I'm the only one. So, I'll just tell you this. In sleep paralysis, your mind is awake. You open your eyes, but your body's just asleep, right?
Oh.
You look at the door and it's like middle of the night, right? There's a fucking demon standing there. I close my eyes, open back up again. It's on my fucking chest, and it's like, what the fuck?
So
All right.
here's
I don't suffer from sleep paralysis, but I've been told I yell in my sleep.
Oh,
I don't know what that's about.
actually, you know what? Just a little off topic, real quick. So I was in basic training at the time, and there was another fellow Korean guy. There was two other Koreans. So this other guy, his name was David Jong. So one night, me and the battles, we're sleeping, and he's already knocked the fuck out. 2 hours later, we wake up to him fucking singing in his sleep and saying, "Mom, don't hit me, don't hit me." It's like, what the fuck? And then the next day, we're like, "Hey, Dave, hey, Jong, you talk in your sleep, right?" He goes, "Yeah, I knew about it. My mom tells me that shit." I'm like, "What's that? What was all that about?" He goes, "I have no idea."
What the fuck?
So back to sleep paralysis. So I did my research on this based on paranormal TV shows and the internet, correct?
Yeah.
I found out that only happens to people who have a lapse of faith within a certain time frame in their life.
Oh.
So it's spiritual weakness that attracts that. So now that I believe that because Paul hasn't experienced it ever since then, he probably has a faith that he doesn't know about that's still existing in that realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I just believe in Ichigo from Bleach being my lord and savior.
Of course, you're a Bleach fan.
Ichigo will slay the sleep paralysis demon.
Oh, you know what? I actually have a paranormal experience. I felt at a customer's house before.
Oh, tell us.
So it was about a week ago. I went to this old man's house in Golden Valley, which is about 25-minute drive from the shop I work at.
Yeah.
I show up to the house, and it's a nice house. You know, it's old house, whatever. You know, nice homeowner and all this stuff. But the minute I went downstairs, I had this heavy feeling like something or someone was watching me from the darkness. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I just felt like I needed to hurry up and get the hell out.
That's when you know there's paranormal activity there. If your body feels heavy, I think that's like a big indicator.
Because for some reason I was more tired than normal, but when I left, I was perfectly fine.
I feel like those are like big indicators, like something mysterious is there.
Because mind you, this couple had been living there for almost 60 years.
Oh, there's a person in their walls.
So, I mean, that heaviness kind of freaked me out a little bit, so I hurried the hell up and got the hell out.
Yeah, imagine you place your tool down and then it just disappeared, and you would have been like, "What the hell?" Uh, right? Like if you
Yeah.
stayed there
Yeah.
longer and you put like equipment down and then you turn around for a second and then it disappeared, you're gonna be like, "Okay, I'm out of here." But like, what was it? This is our first Halloween special. I'm pretty sure season 2 will do another one, but like honestly, there's like, is there like more stories for like you guys that you guys have? No?
Not really.
I mean, I watch a lot of paranormal shit. So, you know, like the whole cryptids and monsters and all these weird things. So, for example, if you guys watch paranormal videos, what do they tell you the number one rule is? If you live next to a forest, do not go in the middle of the night.
Well, yeah.
So, like the creepiest one I ever heard was this gentleman on YouTube. He's big in UK. Like he does camping trips solo with his dog and all this shit. And there was this forest that people told him, "Hey, don't go in the middle of the night because you're gonna hear a screaming woman crying about her baby." So this guy goes, I don't believe in that crap, you know. I'll just go camping, I'll be fine. So he sets up his camp and everything. In the middle of the night, he suddenly he's whimpering. And his dog, mind you, dogs have more acute senses.
Hmm.
Sensed like the dog sensed that someone was watching the guy. So this dog got so fucking scared it pissed himself. And the
Oh,
and the owner of the campsite who set up a camp like about a quarter mile from the haunted house that used to be there was a brick building a long time ago, but it's all gone now. Fucking this guy goes, nope, I'm fucking done. He rewinds the video to listen, and he hears it and he goes, nope, I'm done. That night,
Jesus.
packs his stuff and gets the hell out. And his poor dog, mind you, was scared shitless. It was so scared it couldn't even bark.
Since we're on the subject of creepy, Japan horror. Japan stuff in terms of uh what do you call it? Like
yeah.
abandoned
Those forests. Logan Paul.
Oh no.
So my thing with Japan is, so I've watched a documentary about the feudal ages in Japan, correct?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So back then it was some fucked up shit. People would kill their own brothers, their mothers, their kids, whatever. So I believe that Japan is a cursed land. Like not all of it, but certain portions of it, because when you watch these YouTubers who go exploring, find like abandoned towns, villages, houses, like anything you can think of, finding abandoned, and they go investigate and they see some weird shit on camera.
Can I just say this? People exploring abandoned stuff in Japan, it's really clean in terms of being abandoned.
Yeah.
Because if you go to any abandoned places here in America, it's graffitied, it's creepy in a different way.
Yeah.
I love those videos of just like exploring abandoned buildings because I do not have the physique to do that. I just love watching those videos.
So
Paul has met me before. I am a giant fucking teddy bear of a man.
so now that we're on the topic of Japan and haunted stuff, correct?
Hmm.
So the
Mhm.
creepiest video I ever saw was this YouTube channel called Fourth Wall. You listeners out there should check it out. It's called The Fourth Wall. 3 Japanese friends who explore abandoned houses, haunted places, whatever. So they went to this house. It's been abandoned for 30 plus years. And the real estate guy goes, "Hey, look, I'm just going to warn you now. You're going to see and hear some weird shit that nobody can explain." So the main leader, I forgot what his name was, goes into the house alone and tells his 2 buddies, "Hey, sit tight in the car. I'm going to go take some videos and pictures."
Here's his mistake. He went alone.
Yeah. That poor guy was downstairs right about to head up a staircase, right?
Yeah.
So he goes up the staircase just fine. But on the way down, he stops at the bottom and he takes a picture and a video, like a still video shot.
Hmm.
He didn't catch it till he saw it later was a lady, didn't show a face. Her lower portion of her body started floating down with her feet dangling behind him, and he didn't even notice this.
Japan, you scary.
Yes, Japan does have a lot of scary things, and quite amazingly, I can't believe I still watch those haunted videos.
I'm just tired of the same bullshit of horror stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
I just see the same thing. It's like, oh, look how scary this is. Like, you guys already shown me this. Stop TikTok.
And then another creepy one I saw was where was it? Oh, okay. So in Japan, there was a family that was being haunted by this ghost or whatever, by this spirit,
Yeah.
highly evil spirit. So apparently, the story goes that a family of 4 lived there, and the demon killed off a sibling and his 2 parents, killed them off immediately. They locked him into the garage. Apparently, he was safe and he survived.
What
But
the hell?
as police investigated, they found out that something supernatural had killed his parents and his sibling. And they said till this day they still cannot explain how or why the kids survived, but everyone else got killed.
Hmm.
So a Japanese ghost hunter, not well known, solo guy, goes into this house alone and he starts to hear screaming, crying, and something banging on the fucking doors.
That's when you know you gotta get the fuck out.
And this guy set a still camera because he was kind of creeped out. So he was in another room.
Yeah.
He saw that footage. The minute he saw it, he grabbed his shit and got the fuck out.
I'm so sorry. My mother decided to call me right now, and I did not hear any of that. So just give me a brief synopsis of it.
So basically, a spirit killed an entire family except for one kid who survived and is a adult now in Japan. But police still can't explain what killed his family.
Oh,
So there's no evidence of foul play or his parents being psychotic and killing them. There's nothing like that. They just dropped dead.
So, this
here's
is
here's my
what?
thinking. How was the airflow in that house?
Oh yeah, it could be like black mold.
So apparently, they said the feng shui of the house was incorrect.
I'm not talking about feng shui. I am talking about
The air circulation.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
because
they didn't find any mold either. That's the weird part.
could it be like carbon monoxide?
Yeah, because those
So
are like a lot of cases too.
so police, literally Japanese police tested for everything. They found nothing.
Hmm. Well,
Or
before
like,
this turns into a true crime podcast.
We're not that podcast. This is just a Halloween special. Please
and
don't
then
sue.
the one last one I saw, it was on Nuke's Top 5 YouTube channel. I'd recommend it to all you listeners out there to watch it. There was this one where this gentleman bought an apartment in Japan, the lower level, for I believe it was like $800 or $700. It was a steal. Because I guess Japanese rent is high.
Yeah.
He bought it, and for some reason, he would hear an old person crying outside in his patio on the road that's in front of his apartment. So, he used his, cell phone to catch a video or whatever, and he couldn't see anything. All he heard was whimpering and someone like, crying. So, a couple weeks later, he buys a FLIR thermal camera, and now he's thinking that someone's trying to rob him, like, steal shit from his home. Well, he sets up this thermal camera and he picks up an image of some kind of old person hunched over, crying about a lost soul, lost son, or something like that.
Oh.
So he takes a pot of boiling hot water to kind of see if it'll react to him throwing hot water. Grabs the hot water. On the thermal camera, you can see the hot water touching or hitting somebody and them screaming because of how hot the water is.
Oh.
And apparently he found out that a long time ago, an old lady had lost her son in the street due to a car accident or something. So the ghost was basically in limbo, didn't know if she had to go to the afterlife by herself or if she was still waiting on her son to return.
Since we're over the limit of 45 minutes, we're around like 50 minutes now. I feel like this is like a little good end to this Halloween special. Hopefully we do another special episode for a finale or something. So I think that's a good way to end it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I don't have a lot of Halloween stories, but maybe for the next special, it's going to be Christmas stories.
Christmas. Okay. We're gonna
Yeah.
end this recording here. I'm just making it the most scuffed was ending.
All right.
Thank you for listening, guys.